Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pie Guy and Brodeur. One voice, two minds. I'm your host, Pie Guy, and of course, before we begin, always remember, you can find the rest of these pie-tacular episodes and this one-of-a-kind podcast on YouTube, on that Brodeurland YouTube channel, or you can also peruse it or listen to it or find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and of course, iHeartRadio. Now, today on this episode, we're going to be talking about gratitude. That's right. We're going to talk about how can we be more appreciative in life? How can we count our blessings so we can apply this word of gratitude into our everyday lives? Now, to help me to do this throughout this episode, we're going to be circling back, you guessed it, with the one, the only, Brodeur of Brodeurland, Mr. Brodeur. Hey, Pie Guy. Yes, that is right. We're going to be talking all about gratitude. And you know what, Pie Guy? I really like saving this word right here near the end as we get closer and closer to the end of all of these words of the weeks and these episodes. It's a great time to really be reflective. It's a great time to really think back. And like you said, be more appreciative. Can we really count our blessings? And Pie Guy, I loved that you brought up being more appreciative because you are already scratching the surface of my Brodeurland definition for gratitude, because we have to be more grateful for what we have and not for what we're necessarily missing in life. And this word really requires a mindset shift, right? To be present in the moment. And that's why really I've brought this word of gratitude and put it near the end because, like I said, it really asks us to really take our mindset and really change it. And so throughout all these previous words of the week, hopefully that is what we have been doing, right? Trying to take our mindset, take our life, and really apply these words to really see a really productive and beautiful change and transformation in our lives. So, Pie Guy, let's dive on in and let's get started before I really spoil too much because, I know I say this all the time, but I really enjoy gratitude. It's a great close to ending spot right there. And I'm really excited to dive on in. So let's jump on in. Sure thing, Mr. Brodeur. And you know what? I'm ready to slice into this word and really hopefully, like you said, really reflect on what we talk about today. And hopefully, you said it, be more appreciative in our lives with this word. So, Mr. Brodeur, let's get rolling. What does it mean to have gratitude? And of course, how can gratitude help me become that best version of myself and be more thankful, be more appreciative of the things that are in our lives right now? Well, Pie Guy, like always, great question. And to better understand this word of gratitude, let's take a look at this Brodeurland definition. And it goes like this. We have to appreciate what is good in our lives. And of course, be thankful for the things we have and giving kindness in return. Now, Pie Guy, appreciating is, of course, that theme for today when it comes down to gratitude. And like I said earlier, you already hinted at it when you mentioned it in the intro. Well, Mr. Brodeur, I'm glad I did, even though I did not know I was hinting at anything. So, Mr. Brodeur, why is appreciating things in our life such a big theme for gratitude? Well, Pie Guy, we can get so focused on the bad in our life, our worries, our stresses, and of course on what we don't have and what we want to achieve, that we can lose focus on the blessings we have in our life right now in the moment. Now, Mr. Brodeur, I feel like the past so many episodes, you focus on this idea of being in the moment. You know what, Pie Guy, now that you say that, you're right. But maybe that's a good coincidence because to appreciate what we have in life, we really got to be in the moment. And so hopefully maybe the past couple of episodes, even though I've been kind of hinting about being in the moment and repeating it through all these different episodes, maybe that's a great segue into gratitude, right? Really that mindset shift, right? Can I really change my mindset and really start being in the moment to appreciate things? Now, we have to be in the now, right? That's part of being in the moment. And the same with being helpful and kind. And if we are so focused on the future and so focused on other things, how can we really appreciate the blessings in our life and see the good. It's kind of like what G.K. Chesterton once said. When it comes to life, the critical thing is whether you take things for granted or you take them with gratitude. Now, when I hear this quote, Pie Guy, I think about how many times I get caught up in my daily routine and I grow numb to my surroundings and numb to the people in my life. And over time, even numb to those blessings in our lives. I mean, right now, I'm thinking about how many times I take for granted my family, my job, my position in life. If I stopped to think, Pie Guy, right now, I would be devastated to lose my children, to lose my wife, right? But I think about how many times I come home from work deflated, tired, and we all sit around consumed on our devices, ignoring each other, and we take that time for granted. And I think a lot of us can maybe relate to that as well. And I feel like right now, I'm having a wake-up call to myself to really spend more time with my family, to really spend more time together, make a family night, or even sit and watch a movie together instead of ignoring each other and really taking our time together really for granted. You are so right, Mr. Brodeur. I feel like so many people can relate. We all get so busy that we look forward to our downtime or keeping our head above water that we lose sight of what is really important in our lives. Yes, Pie Guy. And I have shared this before, but I'll share it again. My dad used to always tell me growing up, and he still does today, it's all part of the adventure. Yes, Mr. Brodeur. I feel like I have that quote ingrained in my mind after doing a lot of these episodes together with you and, of course, watching your other videos. Yes, Pie Guy. And here's the deal. As I've grown up and really reflected on my dad's quote, I've come to terms on what he really meant when he said it. And the meaning of this quote is you have to be grateful for the ups. You got to be grateful for the downs, the successes, the mistakes along life's journey. And he used to say that when things did not go my way. Like when I tried out for drum major for my high school marching band, I didn't get the role. And he used to say, you know what? It's all part of the adventure. It's okay. Learn from it. And of course, when we were lost on a nature hike one time, and even when things went my way and I had success, he would also say it because it's that idea of, hey, keep learning. It's all part of life's adventure, right? It's all part of the adventure. And you see, you can grow from successes and you can really build confidence, which will lead us to becoming that best version of ourselves. But we can also build and we can also learn from those moments of suffering, from those mistakes, so we can climb up from the ashes and really transform ourselves to keep growing, to keep moving forward. That right there is being appreciative at its finest. Really appreciating the lessons of life in your life and learn and grow from them. Now, Pie Guy, this is what I really want to do. I want to really take this moment and really practice gratitude and give everyone listening a chance to have a 10-second reflection. Wait a minute, Mr. Brodeur. What do you mean like a 10-second reflection? Well, Pie Guy, I want everyone listening during these upcoming 10 seconds to really think of the people in their life. Maybe you have that one special person, or maybe you have a couple people in your life that are your biggest cheerleaders. Those people who really push you to become that best version of yourself. Maybe those people are close to you, or they live close to you, or maybe they live far away, or maybe that person or those people have passed on. But right now, during these 10 seconds, think about those people. Let them flood your brain. Are you ready, Pie Guy? I'm ready, Mr. Brodeur. All right. So here's the deal. When I say start, I want you to think of those people. And don't worry about the time. I'll keep the time. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, start. Now, to everyone listening, whoever you have been thinking of, imagine how proud they must feel to know the impact you think they made on your life. Now, Pie Guy, I learned this technique from Mr. Rogers, from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and He used to do this all the time in his final speeches and during his Lifetime Achievement Emmy speech. So feel free, check out that, especially that Emmy speech, that Lifetime Achievement Award one on YouTube. It is great. I will have to do that, Mr. Brodeur. Now, Pie Guy, I will say this, Mr. Rogers, though, he wouldn't want to do 10 seconds. So given the time, if he wasn't constrained for time, he always liked to push it to a minute for this exercise. And I practice this from time to time to put myself back in check and remember to slow down, to stop, and know there is so much more to be grateful for in my life, right? And I have even done this in my classes from time to time at school. Wait a minute, Mr. Brodeur. You tried this in your classes? A full minutes of silence with middle schoolers? Oh, yes, Pie Guy. Well, Mr. Brodeur, how did that go? Surprisingly, Pie Guy, very well. You can tell how some students, they struggle for a minute, right? Especially for silence. But overall, once you get to around that 30 seconds, you start to see some of the students actually thinking, really reflecting. You can see the impact on their faces. We all need time to stop. We all need time to really remember our blessings and who are our biggest supporters in our lives, right? But the key is sometimes you got to hit a pause on life and really stop and slow things down. Pie-tacular, Mr. Brodeur. Thank you for this meditation technique. And I really got a lot out of it. And you even slowed down this podcast to allow us all to take in those people in our life that we must remember, that we must cherish, and those people that are present in the moment in our lives that help us push and motivate us forward. Yes, Pie Guy, and here's the deal. We are only just beginning on this word of gratitude. Really, Mr. Brodeur? I feel like we've dove in a lot already. Well, Pie Guy, we also have to change our mindset, like I alluded to before. And we can't just concentrate on the negative or really what we want as well. Why is that, Mr. Brodeur? Well, Pie Guy, if I look at Oprah Winfrey, she said it best when she said, be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. I feel like so many times we get so fixated on the things we want, the things we don't have, the stuff we are chasing. Mr. Brodeur, that is so true. Well, Pie Guy, don't get me wrong. It's good to have goals, and it's good to have ambitions. It's good to strive for things, but you also have to be grateful for the things you have in your life. Right now, in this moment, you see so many times when we go for our goals, we tell ourselves, I'm going to be happy when I achieve this goal. I'm going to be happy when I buy this thing. Sure, you might be happy, but it may only be for a moment. I mean, think about a goal or something you achieved. Maybe you won that big game, achieved something at a high level. Maybe you won an award, got some recognition. That's great. That's awesome. You feel excited. You had a big party. You celebrated, right? People were there cheering you on. But here's the question I have for you. How long did that feeling last? A couple days, a couple of hours, a week, a month. Most of the time, as time keeps moving, that stuff fades away. I can even think for me, one of the biggest achievements I made was becoming debt-free, doing my debt-free scream. Oh yeah, I remember that, Mr. Brodeur. You talked about that in your Brodeurland Origins. Yes, Pie Guy. And that was, I would say, 3 years where we really dove in, probably even a little bit more, because that was always a goal I wanted to do, is really become debt-free, pay off the house, and really give myself a good financial situation, raising a family, all that, right? And I did my debt-free scream, had a great time, got to meet Dave Ramsey. You know, you're on a high, you're sharing it with people. But, you know, fast forward so many years now, I remember it. It's great. I can watch the video, but that motivation might have faded. And I can relook at it to get re-motivated, but really that excitement, that thrill has really dampened as time has gone on, because I'll be honest, when that goal finished, I had probably a year. I was like, what's next? What's my next thing? What's my next goal? What should I do? And then eventually time has come and Brodeurland grew and became something, right? But it's a big struggle a lot of times. And I was not in a sense of gratitude and being in the moment in my life. I was too busy thinking, what's next? Because I had something to strive for. I had something to work for so many years. Wow, Mr. Brodeur. That's so interesting. I never really thought about how sometimes we can have such big goals and big accomplishments that if we're not grateful, if we don't really appreciate the things in our lives, we can get lost, and we can get lost in things we want. Exactly, Pie Guy. And here's another example too. I remember when I got Teacher of the Year. It felt great for sure, and it was an awesome recognition. But after a month or going into the next school year, people forgot. And there were new employees and teachers that had no clue who I was and that I even won the award. And that is why it is so important to remember that it's not all about the goal. It's not all about the achievement. It's not all about becoming that Teacher of the Year or becoming debt-free. Yes, they're great, but rather it's more about who you became to achieve that goal, right? What mindset do you have now? How has your mindset changed over those years? Especially for me, as I became debt-free. For me, going in and that idea of becoming Teacher of the Year. Okay, great. But what do I do now? How do I further that success? How do I keep pushing forward and be in the moment and appreciate everything that's going on as I continue to move forward? And I remember when I got to the start of the new school year, after I won Teacher of the Year, I had goals, I had ambitions, I had things I wanted to try out and push in my class, like the words of the week, the songs, Brodeurland. I mean, heck, Brodeurland, this was the birth of it after this time when I became Teacher of the Year. But after a while, I got into a routine and I was implementing everything I wanted to do. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, what's next again, right? And that is when I had to sit back and be grateful for my students and them really being receptive to what I was trying to do, and my wife for supporting me and other people along the way, right? And really take in the moment, really be reflective, really go, okay, how are things working? Wow, look at the impact I'm making. Wow, look at the person I'm becoming throughout this. And I wish I would have done a better job now thinking back, right? We all can think that. Now, I will say this. During that process, especially of growing Brodeurland and creating it and figuring out what in the world am I trying to do here, from time to time I would really take in those moments at the end of the week, and I was really reflective, especially as I am today. But the main thing is that no matter what you do, things and feelings, they fade away. So take in the moment. Remember to be in the moment. It's time to run your own race of life. And along the way, be grateful for all those people, all those things you encounter, those blessings that you've received along the way. It's all about your life's adventure. The mistakes you had along the way, and I have had plenty, and I still do. I'm not perfect. And you have to learn from them. You got to grow from them, but also your successes you had along that path you had to make to really achieve that goal that taught you, hey, I'm heading in the right direction, but I got to keep going. I got to keep moving forward. I got to be better than I was the day before, the minute before, the week before, the month before, right? So be thankful for those mistakes that really helped you grow. And of course, those successes that continue to push you forward. Yes, Mr. Brodeur, thank you so much for sharing. You are so right. There was more to dissect, more to dive into with this word gratitude. And thank you again for really sharing, being vulnerable with us, and really showing us the truth that it's not all about achieving the goals, but more about who do you have to become. Pie-tacular. Now, I will say this, Mr. Brodeur, we are getting to that time of the episode where we do got to wrap things up. So is there anything else you would like to share on gratitude before we got to come to a close? Well, Pie Guy, let's wrap up with this quote right here by William Arthur Ward. And he said this: gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgiving, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. So what you need to remember is you have to be thankful. You have to be grateful for those gifts, those talents, those passions, and blessings. Time to take those routine days, those common days, and add a little flair, a little you to those days and jobs and tasks in your life. that seem so boring, that seem so repetitive. We all have them, right? Even if they aren't to you great, still add in some bits of you, your passions, and bring your life to new levels. That is what is going to really be the key in your life. Whether you are in your dream job, your dream situation, or even if you're not, when you bring those passions, when you bring those gifts into those scenarios, into your arena, that's when that joy really begins to elevate. That's when you bring yourself into those mixes, and then you can be grateful for your uniqueness and really stand out and shine in that routine job, in that routine scenario. It won't feel so routine anymore because you are going to be passionate. It's going to be big, and it's going to be all you, just like Brodeurland right here. That is what I've done. I took a math class, and the routine of working out problems, showing up, class change, next class. And what I did is I threw in some Brodeur passion, Brodeur talents, ideas, and really made things come to life. Whether I tapped into my musical knowledge with band, right? Or whether I tapped into my thrill of the theatrics. I'm not saying I'm a world-class actor, but I always enjoyed entertaining. I always enjoyed putting on a show. And that's what Brodeurland is. It's a show. Can I take those routine math lessons and those classes and make it a show? Make it me, and really be grateful for the life, the job, and the opportunities I have every day to make a difference and mold these students to become the best version of themselves. Here's the deal. So many of us, we get so caught up in, I got to hit millions of people, millions of views, all this stuff. No, we all have people we encounter every single day that we can make a difference in. And for me, I have about 130 students I perform for on a given day. Time to not take those moments for granted, but really be present and make a difference. Now, here's the thing. When you start to feel down, or you feel like, you know what, you are not making any headway, and you start to have a roller coaster over time, look to those people. Look to that person. Who are your biggest cheerleaders? Who want you to be that best version of yourself? Use that meditation method from earlier that I shared with you guys. Those 10 seconds, maybe make it a minute. Maybe for some people, make it longer. Maybe that could be the beginning of your prayer time, especially if you use prayer to really motivate you. I know I do every morning, every evening, even times right before class changes if I'm in planning. Let those people flood your brain and allow them to help self-motivate you so you can keep pushing and take your talents, take your gifts, bring that joy and that gratitude into your life. Today's your day to really let your light shine through. Spectacular, Mr. Brodeur. Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, did you use the last line of your book, Stay True, Shine Through, right there at the end? I did, Pie Guy. So awesome, Mr. Brodeur. Well, I love it. I am pumped up to really go out there and reflect on my passions, my gifts, my talent, and blessings in my life so I can take my routine days, my routine jobs, my routine tasks, bring a little spice to it and really own it, really make it my own with all the things that I'm capable of doing. But I got to remember, I got to be in the moment, and I got to be grateful for the opportunities I have every day to let my light shine through and be grateful. There you go, Mr. Brodeur. I used that line one more time. Oh, I see that right there, Pie Guy. Well, Mr. Brodeur, like I always say, pie-tacular. Great. And like you said, we are coming to the close of these words of the week. I think we only got a couple more. But here's the deal, my friends. Even though we're coming to the end of some of these episodes and our whole journey with these words of the week, remember, stay infinite. Don't put limits on yourself. Expand your horizons. And Mr. Brodeur, if you can finish this in style, sure thing. So always remember, you all make each day a special day by just you being you. There's no one in the whole world like you except you. And I like you just the way you truly are. It's good that you exist, but like we've been saying today, you've got to be grateful. You got to appreciate the blessings in your life. You got to take those gifts, those talents, everything that makes you you. Go out there and bring it to your life. Bring it to the people you encounter so you can go out there and become that best version of yourself. So until next time, Brodeur out. Peace.